everyone, it's Julie at Seedling-Plumeria, and today is week 4 update for the summer seedling series. So I'm growing in my hydroponic units. These are called AeroGarden, that's the brand that I use. And my model that I use is Bounty Elite because it has 9 openings, but there's other models that they have that are just as good. They just have different features or different amounts of pod openings. I know on Amazon they were sold out of this model, but they do have one that's similar. I think it's just the Bounty instead of the Bounty Elite. So it's in my Amazon storefront, which I know some people have been struggling to find. I think I've made it easier to find. You can click on my bio, see more, and you'll find it. Also, it's in links, and then I also did a post about it recently to help some people. So let's talk about these seedlings first. These are the ones that are 4 weeks old. Starting tomorrow morning, I will be giving them more fertilizer because you give them more fertilizer every 14 days. So I'm actually a day early, but I started this on Thursday, so I'm keeping the series happening on Thursdays. So I can use any kind of hydroponic fertilizer that I want to use that's similar to 436 because this is the brand that AeroGarden uses, which is from Miracle-Gro. I'm going to add 12 mLs, which is equivalent to 2.4 teaspoons. So I'll just open up the reservoir and I'll add that in. It's usually about 3 cupfuls is 12 mLs. Or you can use a teaspoon measuring little scoop or spoon. So let's look and see what's happening since last week. We've got more leaves. They're definitely taller. We've got up to 6 leaves. Last week they were just developing their 5th leaf. And you can see some variance in what the leaves look like. I don't see any variance really with the shape, except these are really wide. These and these are more narrow. These are the Bora Bora Amethyst Twist, except for this one is a potpourri seed. And then all of these are potpourri seeds. And if you look over here, look at how big some of these leaves are already for 4 weeks old. That's crazy. They're just big. So if you get down, way down in here, you can start seeing that they're going to start multi-tipping. It's still hard to figure that out at this stage. As they grow, we're going to see more evidence of that. And then over on this side, these guys are only 2 weeks old, but tomorrow they'll also get more fertilizer. I still have some with the seed coverings on. I've been very careful about messing with these using the tweezers because I think I messed up a few the last go around. So I've been babying these. I've got one that's not going to make it. This one's kind of not growing real well, and neither is that one. But that happens sometimes. It just happens. So I'm remembering every day to come out and use my water spray bottle with just a little bit of peroxide, maybe a teaspoon or something. I don't really measure it that much. But I spray the sponge. So this is the sponge, the part that's inside the basket. So the white part is the basket and the brown part is the sponge that fits down inside it. See those little baby roots of those 2-week-old seedlings? So I'm spraying the top of that sponge because I'm trying to keep algae off of it. So let's pull one of these out. I have to be really careful though because I want to make sure that they aren't going to be too hard to get back in with the way the roots are. Yeah, this is still fine. I can pull it out and then. So there you go. Look at those roots. Whoops, just turned the light off accidentally. There we go. Look at those roots. They just go right through the sponge. The sponge is a growing medium. So I'm going to set that back in there. That might be the last week I get to pull them out and put them in easily. So that's what's going on with these guys. I also always check every day to see if they need more water because you've got to add water if they do. Remember, your gallon water jug should also have some peroxide in it to help control the algae. And it also helps the roots grow. There's scientific research that indicates that. So I always make sure they're full. These have turned off twice in the last week because we had electrical blips that happened. So we had to come out and reset them. So just know that if you live in an area where your electricity goes off, even if it only goes off for a second, you've got to come check these because they're like computers. They're going to have a glitch and you're going to have to set them or make sure that they're still operating at the right time, the pump's running the right amount of time, the lights are on for the right amount of time. So make sure you're always checking that, especially in the summer rainy season like we have here in Florida. So there's 2 more things I want to talk about during this video. And one is, I want to show you what I'm going to be growing next. I'm going to grow some Madam Pony seeds that I got from Maui Plumeria Gardens. I ordered from them. And then I'm also going to be growing these 2 seeds. And I got these when I was down in Florida Colors last month. And there's something very unique about both of them. So the first one is the Stenopetula. And I've done videos on my Stenopetula. As a matter of fact, I was going to bring it inside. I'll post a picture of it in the comments so you can see which one I'm talking about. So when I was down there, I actually walked away to talk to Kay, and I'm going to have to back up here because that wind's going to blow them all over the place. I was either walking through one of the groves with Kay or Carol, and my husband was still sitting there talking to Tex. And when I came back, he said, look what Tex wants you to try growing in your AeroGardens next. I said, what's that? And he said, Stenopetula. He said he found this seed pod over there and got it from the tree and wants you to try this because look how tiny they are. This is the one that smells so good at the entrance when you walk into Florida Colors. Mine's also blooming right now. But look how tiny they are. Aren't they tiny? They're like little baby seeds. As a matter of fact, this is the seed pod he gave us. And there's still some attached. See how tiny they are? Because you guys remember the size of these seeds that went in, the potpourri and the Bora Bora amethyst twist. They were, you know, what I call average. They were like this. So those are tiny. So I'm going to grow some of those just to see what happens, because it's such a unique variety. And then I'm going to grow some of these. These came from Cocoa Crater, a monster tree growing in Cocoa Crater. And I have a video of Carol talking about this tree. I happened to look up while we were taking a tour through the grove on one of the golf carts. And she was telling me all about the tree and how she got it and brought it back. And Cocoa Crater's on Oahu. Maya, if you haven't been there, or if you have, I know you've been there. You got to tell us about it, because I haven't been there. Back when I was on Oahu, I didn't know anything about it. If I go back, I will. All right, so these are from that monster tree that she got, I guess, a cutting of when she was at Cocoa Crater years and years ago, because their mother tree is really large. Look how big these leaves are compared to Stenopetula, or even just compared to a regular plumeria seed. Look at that. They're ginormous. I hope I can get them inside the sponge after they germinate. So that's the next experiment. Stenopetula seeds, Cocoa Crater monster tree seeds, and some Mountain Pony. So I'll start getting those ready about 2 weeks before these come out. So the next time we do a video, not the next time. So week 6, when these only had 2 weeks left to come out of the AeroGarden, I will start germinating these seeds to go in. The last thing I want to show you is one of my seedlings. She came from a mother plant that is near and dear to my heart, and she's also my ear. This is Veracruz Rose, and she is the mother of this seedling. So the seeds that grew this, or the one seed that grew this plant came from Veracruz Rose. What's interesting about her is that she split. There was only one seed in the sponge, I promise, and she split. She's twins. So as you zoom in and look, she is a twin. Now she is an identical twin because there was only one seed. If there would have been 2 seeds, you could say, fraternal, whatever. I don't even know about that. But should be identical twins, right? Because it came from one seed and the seed split, I guess, whenever it germinated. Definitely, I didn't see that happen. All I saw was once it was growing in the AeroGarden and the plant part popped up, it was separated like this. So this is my Veracruz Rose twin seedling. And I believe we only have one out of all the seedlings that we have. This is the only one. So she's special. I wanted to share her with you. And the last thing I want to tell you is we are going live. The subscribers group is going live on Saturday at noon. And it's the first time I've planned the live for everybody to be on, but I just wanted to let my regular group know about it in case you were on the fence about whether to be a subscriber or not. We will be going live at noon on Saturday, and if you'd like to subscribe, you'll be able to participate with us. So we're having lots of fun in that group, and just think about it. What else? Last thing is make sure you're following me and subscribing if you want to on the Facebook page, and then like on the Instagram page, and like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. I am still working on getting those thumbnails on that YouTube channel to help those of you that have just joined us catch up to some of the terms that I'm using when I'm doing videos now in the present. So just remember, I like to give you tips about how to grow successfully, things that work for me. So more tips equals more blooms.